You want anything bad enough? Don't make excuses. You gotta lose your time and your sleep for it. You find a way.
Boxing King Media in association with Boxraw. Ben Davison, a momentous night for yourself. You know, you've been here once before. Just tell me what kind of emotions are you feeling right this moment? It's been a few hours since the win now.
First and foremost, got to thank God for the victory. Alhamdulillah. You know, I prayed last night, I prayed again today, and our prayers were answered. Heart attack material, shouldn't be saying that to you, but it was. But listen, we was just having a conversation with the team there about how each and every time we keep saying you're not going to be able to top that, not going to be able to top that, and it keeps going. So proud of Lee. Yeah, amazing.
I've got to ask you, obviously, the way the fight was playing out, Josh won a lot of the early rounds, in most people's opinions. What were your tactics going into that? Did you expect him to win the early rounds, or did you have something to counteract that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Lee won the first, I thought Lee won the second. Really bad third round, he got hit with a shot round the back of the head, which he really struggled to recover from. Not going to go too much into the tactics because potential rematch, obviously. But one thing I did say throughout is that I can see it being a fight of the year contender, and I think that people don't take me seriously when I say about how big of a puncher Lee Wood is, and just knew that the volume that Josh brings, you can't keep getting into exchanges. It's risky, obviously. We're us saying to Lee about punching with him and meeting him. It is risky. I know people questioning the southpaw orthodox stuff, but there's reasons why certain scenarios favoured Lee to be in one stance, and certain scenarios he's better in another stance. As a southpaw, he's very good at meeting him, and he actually hurt Josh in the first round and had the fight-ending moment as a southpaw in the 7th round. As I was saying, Josh, with the volume and that, like to keep getting into exchanges with Lee, who it only takes one, and I do think Josh was having success. I thought it was 4-2, how I was scoring it to Josh, but we actually had a conversation in the corner saying that in the 7th round, saying that Josh is starting to fade. It's a 12-round fight, and 7 rounds, you're only just past halfway.
And you know, just before the stoppage, we saw a point and took off Josh. Was there any warnings given? Because a lot of people ringside were like thinking, has he been warned about that? They were a bit surprised the point he took off him in that round.
Yeah, he got warned quite a few times by the referee about the back of the head. And being honest with you, it was a worry of mine. People go on about Josh Warrington and the head and etc., all of this sort of thing, but made no bones about it. It's a struggle for Lee to make the weight, and I think that when fighters do have issues and end up having head injuries, it often comes from people getting hit in the back of the head, and that was a bigger worry for me tonight than the head of Josh Warrington, and proved to be right, because Lee's got a massive lump on the back of his head. As I said, he found it hard to recover after a shot that hit him on the back of the head in the third, but he pulled it out of the bag.
Your honest opinion on the closing stages of the fight. Again, you know, we saw in the press conference, Steve Goodwin was saying that it should have been allowed to carry on. He should have been given a minute to recover. If the tables were flipped and Lee was in that situation, would you have complained?
Well, I think I'll stop Lee against Lara for less, being honest. That's my opinion. My honest opinion is I think Josh went back to the corner, the stool was in there, the whole team was up on the ring apron. I don't think Josh was aware of what was going on, that was the end of the round. I think Josh thought the fight was over, and that's why he didn't turn around to see the referee. I think he was still very, very groggy. And being 100% honest, he got up off the stool about 2 minutes later after and was still unsteady. That's how fighters get seriously hurt, about all this going out on their shield and that. He was flat on his back, got up, really struggled to get to his corner. as I said, Lee punches too hard, and Lee punches too hard to be putting a hurt fighter back in there. Had the round finished? I wasn't sure. Do you know if the round was?
I think the bell just went.
The bell just went. Yeah. So, like, the ref said he asked him to turn around. He didn't turn around. That's why he waved it off. I don't think Josh had his senses to know it was the end of the round.
And then the obvious one is, like, you know, you're going to move up in weight. You've already made that clear. You've got potential of a Mick Conlan rematch. Josh won the two humongous fights, but I think Lee mentioned he'd love to go to America as well. I know you're already probably thinking ahead. Could you drop some potential names, even in America? Navarrete potentially. It's a big fight.
We love the Navarrete fight. That's the fight that we really like for Lee. So that's one we'll explore. Obviously, we'll explore the potential rematch with Josh Warrington, and we'll see what's on the cards.
And just final words. This is a guy that lost to Jamie McDonnell, Jazza Dickens, and obviously if you compare the careers now, no disrespect to Jazza or Jamie, it's crazy what boxing can do. Gavin McDonnell, sorry, yeah, not Jamie McDonnell. And it's worth just highlighting that, and people who just seem to think early career losses end your career. He's a millionaire, set for life, and two-time world champion.
Yeah, and he deserves all the credit in the world because he's the ultimate professional, such a hard worker. Even when things didn't seem to be working out for him, he continued to graft away in the gym, worked hard, showed character. In a fight, I ended up actually taking Lee on, watching him fight in a fight that he lost, and he got hurt and beat his chest in that moment. And I looked and I thought that lad's got some character. So he come down the gym, and as I said, I then learned that he was a consummate professional. I learned that he could obviously punch like an old kicking as well, and the story's been amazing ever since.
Yourself, lastly, it's worth giving yourself the credit as well, because you know you played a big part in turning Lee's career around. You know, you've got to give yourself a pat on the back, and obviously your team, Lee as well, and Baz over there.
Yeah, but we've worked with Lee for 3 years. Let's say he's boxed since he was, I don't know, 14 or whatever. How many years has he put in? You know, we've been able to hone and help him be the best that he can be. But you know, there's been so many years that he's put in and stayed committed to the sport and been dedicated, and tough moments that he's got through, and you know, he deserves all the credit in the world. And our passion is to help fighters that want to learn and want to be better and want to maximise their potential. That's what we absolutely love, and he's an absolute pleasure to work with. We're lucky to work with him.
Ben Davison, as always, congratulations, and on to Shabazz Masood. I think it is in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much.
You want anything bad enough? Don't make excuses. You gotta lose your time and your sleep for it. You find a way.